This Dream Job Dynamic episode 005, where the topic today, conversation for some of my boomer buds. The subject is, your age is an asset, boomer, not an anchor. Stick around.
This is the Dream Job Dynamic podcast, dedicated to discovering your personally perfect dream job in 7 simple steps. Whether you're a boomer, a beginner, or a somewhere in betweener. Whether your plan is to ramp up your routine, ease off the gas a bit, or to take a side road in a totally new direction. With a dream job discovery as your target, you'll learn to define it, locate it, and land it. So, when you're ready to boost your bad self, let's set you up to be discovered with a proven process that takes very little time and doesn't cost a dime. You can do it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. Boom that.
Hey, well, welcome in or welcome back. Heads up to my fellow boomer buds. Whether you realize it or not, right this minute, there are many employers in search mode looking for the likes of you. They are actively seeking the value in your history and the potential in your past performance. If you by chance missed the introduction, my name is David Freeman. I participated in and studied the job search process from inside and out for the past 40 years. I've helped many search-weary applicants to upgrade and ace their job searches by using a unique and free, easy-to-apply process that we call the 7 Simple Steps to Dream Job Discovery. Our objective is to identify your selection of dream jobs, connecting you with the decision makers and giving you choices relative to your next and possibly best career boost yet. My hope is to point you in the right direction using many of the tools and techniques that allowed me to land my own personally perfect dream job several years ago, by the way, at the age of 64 and a half. In my recent adventure, by practicing what I teach, I was able to identify 3 companies with construction management opportunities. That's my area. All 3 invited me to the interview. All 3 responded immediately with offers of employment, and the rest is dream job history. My point in sharing my story is to emphasize that there are many employers who know and appreciate the value of a boomer work ethic, which is a thing, looking for boomers who still bring it. That's the real point of this conversation. Many employers do actually realize that while being young and recently educated and IT proficient is a winning combination, it's just not the solution for every situation, and certainly not every job assignment. For many potential hiring decisions, youth and a fresh diploma by itself are simply not the deciding factor. A growing number of employers, many boomers themselves, would prefer to hire someone who has experienced the trials of real life and survived. Quoting Mark Twain, some people get an education from college, the rest get it when they get into the real world. As many young job seekers will discover, there's a catch-22 on their end of the scale as well. They'll find that they need experience to get a job and a job to gain experience. With that in mind, the playing field may seem a little bit more level. In fact, when it comes down to the search, you're not really in competition for those jobs of those younger seekers anyway, and they're not interested in yours. So it's actually not younger versus boomer, so don't compare their apples with your oranges. They're not better, they're just different. The up-and-comers have chosen and prepared a specific path that doesn't necessarily require your expertise. At the same time, you'll be targeting assignments that demand your experience and your boomer work ethic, neither of which have been mastered by your younger counterparts. We'll talk about your value also as a mentor a little bit later on in this conversation. While you may not be convinced that your value is apparent to employers, let's take a brief look in your career view mirror. We'll do a thorough deep dive on another day, but for now, let's compare historical apples to apples with your perceived nemesis, the recent college grad. Consider, if you will, my suggestion that your age is an asset and not an anchor. By virtue of your extensive been there, done that list, you come preloaded with many valuable attributes. Some refer to this as the College of Hard Knocks when describing their real-world education. For example, let's consider a few questions that look at some of the most obvious assets in your arsenal. Keep in mind that even some of your long-forgotten experiences will still contribute to your personality and your potential. So here we go. Here's question number 1. If you took a moment, could you possibly create a list of some of your noteworthy details? For example, some aha light bulb moments, some life experiences, some of your never do that again lessons, for example? I bet you could. Question number 2. Giving it a little thought, could you possibly recall some experiences where you might have said, if I knew then what I know now, I would have acted very differently? Or how about, that was a bad idea, I'll never do that again. Or, that was an excellent idea, but I didn't follow my intuition. How about, there are a few things I could have handled a little differently, possibly. Or, I had no idea things would turn out that way, but now looking back, it's obvious. Or finally, I wish I could talk to my younger self and share a little accumulated common sense. Here's question number 3, my favorite. Thinking back on your life, do you remember challenges that shaped your personality and your life from, say, a decade ago? How about 20 years ago? Did you pick up any pointers, say 30, 40, or even 50 years ago that have made a lasting impression on your character, your skills, and your abilities? So here's my point. Think about the images that just popped into your head while you were considering this quick historical review of your own personal deja vu. Now imagine if you asked the same question to your dreaded younger competition. Their answer in most cases would have to be resounding, no, obviously my experience doesn't go back that far. Bingo. Good answer. Now, life may not be fair, but I hope you understand that you really do come to the table with an unfair advantage of, say, 20 to 30 years head start. That being said, while you were busy living and learning about life, think about your younger future fellow associates. You're going to be working with them anyway. Think about what they were doing at the same time. They would have to have been, first of all, say, waiting several decades to be born. And while you were at work, they were learning to read and write. They were stressing about proms and peer pressure. You were going to the job, and they were actively studying their chosen future career curriculum. In other words, while you were busy learning by living it, they were getting revved up by reading about it. That, I must say, is only the first bit of excellent news that will hopefully fire you up for a fantastic career-boosting challenge. Boomer, you are blessed with a wealth of information. You can draw from your own experiences and life sessions that your younger competition will never, ever be able to duplicate. They can't catch up by reading a book. Bottom line, they will never know what you know. More to the point, they won't know the value to be found in your experience, and they won't even know what they don't know. Remind me to return to this point when we talk about your value to your future boss as a mentor. The ability to pay it forward, where your experience and work ethic are concerned, is absolutely a saleable commodity. Add that to your list of assets. While a younger job seeker may be able to dazzle a decision maker with digital details and technical terminology, know this: they will never have the advantage of your experience. On the other hand, if you have an interest and an inclination, you can always decide to learn the tech skills that they have by reading the same books. You can always advance forward, but they will never, ever be able to recover the past. Advantage? Boomer. The takeaway from this lesson is for you to take the accent off your perceived competition. As I mentioned, in most cases, you're not shooting at the same job assignments anyway, and they're not shooting at yours. As our conversation continues in upcoming sessions, we'll dive deeper into your career view recollections from your past, while we work together to refresh your memory and to add valuable talking points to your conversation with your future boss. We'll build on that as we go, step by step. We'll also break down the 7-step process that will allow you to stand up and step out of the crowd of thousands of eager seekers, boomers and others. However, let's not jump to the finish line just yet. Today, let's continue to break down the process of career boosting that works for any age. First of all, the right tool for the right job search. We want to keep thinking about being your best, not like the rest, about changing from a shotgun style search to a laser focused process. Don't follow the process that the average seeker continues to use, and that'll be your major advantage. Learn something and share something. As I've mentioned before, once you land your next dream job position, you'll be able to share your experiences in life with your future fellow associates. That's where the mentor capability comes in. Your boomer bosses and other bosses will appreciate the fact that you have life experience to share. In upcoming sessions, we'll concentrate on boosting your bad self. Then once you have landed in your next best dream job position, you can pay it forward. So boom that. Now, in preparation for your search, I hope you'll stop by our home base at dreamjobdynamic.com, where you'll find our Facebook community, where we can have a conversation. We can discuss some common questions and action plans. Also on the site, you'll find Dream Job Dynamic blog, this podcast, and an ever-growing collection of free dream job discovery resources. One of the things I'd like to share with you is the Quick Start Guide to Dream Job Discovery in 7 Simple Steps. It's a free guide with a fast-track tool that will give you all the directions you need to set your search on a productive course. So stop by dreamjobdynamic.com, download your copy. Once you've had a chance to walk through the Quick Start Guide, if you have any unanswered questions, big or small, you can always reach out to me by email at david@dreamjobdynamic.com. You can find me on the website or in social media by simply searching for #DreamJobDynamic. As a part of my Pay It Forward promise to you, I'm at your service for a free coaching call if needed and a courtesy resume review. From a boomer boss perspective, just a little double check before you hit the go button. So if today's topic hits any of your hot buttons, I hope you'll join in the conversation at DreamJobDynamic.com, where our mission statement captured by Zig Ziglar was, you can have anything in life you want if you'll help enough others to get what they want. To that, I'll add my own Pay It Forward promise about the dream job discovery process. Number 1, takes very little time. Number 2, doesn't cost a dime. One last request. Subscribe to the podcast, share it with other seekers, and wherever you happen to be connecting with us, please leave a comment to answer the question, how can I best help you today? As I like to say, when it comes to your personally perfect dream job discovery, you can do it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. So share the Quick Start Guide with someone you know who needs a boost, then come on back. I'll look forward to meeting you on the inside and talk about dream job discovery in 7 simple steps. I have mine, and I would be pleased to help you find yours. Come on back.